No? Hello lovely humans, welcome to the space on the internet. Today I'm making a video about stimming, which is short for self-stimulatory behaviors, I think. Stimming describes any self-stimulatory repetitive behaviors, so anything that stimulates, activates, utilizes, appeals to any of the senses. That's what stimming is. And in this video, we're just gonna stim a bunch. I'm going to demonstrate to you just how many different ways there are to stim and my favorite ways. Obviously, there are unlimited ways to stim. Let's go! Vestibular stimming involves balance, movement, and the sense of your body in space. This includes activities such as swinging on swings or monkey bars, hanging upside down, performing aerial arts such as aerial silks, and other movements that stimulate your vestibular system by way of gross motor movement and manipulation. Other examples of vestibular stimming are jumping on a trampoline. This particular activity is an excellent way to release energy and activate your sense of balance and motion. Spinning, in any capacity, can be an effective way of stimming and engaging your vestibular system. Here I am just spinning on my feet, but you might also spin on swings, on carnival rides, or if you dance and perform pirouettes. A well-known way of stimming is rocking. I find that swaying back and forth or side to side is soothing, and one of the techniques I use to calm down if I am overwhelmed. I often close my eyes to focus on the movement. Rocking while standing, lifting the heels up and down, or hopping can have a similar effect. Vestibular stimming often presents a way for you to play with gravity. Tree climbing is no exception. I've always loved climbing trees and the accompanying feeling of weight transfer while in the air. Tree climbing provides an opportunity to use your body in ways that you might not on the ground. And last, but certainly not least, what may be my favorite form of stimming: dancing. This is real footage of me stim dancing to one of my favorite songs. I've been attending dance classes from the time I was 3 years old and have been obsessed with everything dance related throughout my life. I've been lucky enough to land myself in holistic dance spaces that focus on how dance feels on an emotional, physical, interoceptive, and energetic levels, which I consider to be similar to the practice of meditation, but with more opportunity for moving energy. Dancing engages your vestibular, circulatory, and muscular systems, and involves rhythm, quality of movement, and a connection between the mind, body, and external world, which I find particularly grounding. Dancing is this ultimate form of connection between the mechanisms that both make and surround me. Visual stimming involves repetitive behaviors related to the eyes and visual stimulus, such as light, color, and visual patterns. One way I love to engage with my visual senses is by watching TV and movies that I find particularly aesthetically pleasing. Usually this means that I find the lighting, colors, costuming, and sets to be pretty and soothing. Oftentimes these are the shows that I watch over and over, like Heartstopper. Another way to stim visually is by using stim toys that offer visual stimulation. For example, here you see my infinity pyramid. Other examples would be kaleidoscopes, colored oil and water toys, hourglasses, light-up balls, or things like my sequin fish, glitter, or sparkly objects like crystals or pieces of shiny fabric. There are plenty of visual stim toys out there. You may also enjoy watching fish tanks or moving water, such as creeks or waterfalls, or other aspects of nature, such as a slight breeze through the trees. I find that watching baby mobiles and pinwheels has a similar calming effect. One of my favorite visual stim toys of sorts are bubbles. This is a particularly involved form of stimming that extends beyond solely visual, particularly if you're jumping, reaching, or chasing after bubbles to pop them. On a visual level, bubbles are mesmerizing in that they float, may wobble while maintaining a spherical shape, and shine oftentimes with fleeting rainbows. Blowing bubbles also offers an oral component to stimming in that you might be puffing out air. Otherwise, in the case of a bubble wand, it involves motor movement. I imagine a common way of visual stimming is organizing objects. I am known in my family for habitually organizing my bookshelves. Here I am lining up pencil crayons by color, but you may also organize things according to size or alphabetically, for example. This isn't one I've heard much about, but I thought worthy of mention. I enjoy playing phone games as a form of stimming. Whether this is entirely visual, I don't know, but I do think that playing games such as Sudoku is soothing. Olfactory stimming is that which engages your sense of smell. Ways of olfactory stimming are smelling flowers and plants, candles, essential oils, food, or even less conventional objects like books, clothes, or simply the air around you. Taste stimming, as the name suggests, is stimming using your sense of taste. In a broader sense, I like to think of oral stimming as stimming involving your mouth, tongue, and taste buds. Some ways to orally stim are by eating familiar foods. Here I am making chai. You might suck or chew on objects. You can also taste stim by eating good textures. For example, I love the texture of foam on my teeth. Otherwise, you may stim by eating cold or hot foods, or by eating your food a specific way or in a particular order. For example, it's a running joke that I always section off my food so as to save the best bite, the bite which I deem to have the best combination of ingredients, for the last bite, so that that flavor, texture remains in my mouth after I'm done eating. Auditory stimming involves your ears and sense of hearing. The reason I say ears and not just sense of hearing is that something like tapping your ears or playing with your ears can also qualify as a form of auditory stimming. Some stim toys, such as poppets, are an excellent way to stim using your sense of hearing. Bubble wrap acts similarly. Poppets were my first specific stim toy, and now I have a small collection of them, as I find them particularly entertaining. Listening to music is a great way to stim. I've made specific playlists full of stim songs that I find particularly pleasing, soothing, or stimulating. Here, I'm listening to Godzilla by Eminem, which is my current favorite stim song. In my experience, quick rap with transitional beat drops have the best effect when it comes to auditory stimming. As you can see, I often can't help but mouth the words along and move my body to the music. Music, in my experience, is a very fluid thing that floods my whole body and occupies space between every synapse. Not in the literal sense, but that is the best way I can think to describe it. You might also stim by making noises, repeating words, phrases, or humming melodies. Singing is also a form of stimming. Here I am singing along to Guns and Ships from the musical Hamilton, which I highly recommend for stimming purposes. Hamilton has plenty of repeated musical motifs and lyrics that are very satisfying.
Yeah, turns out you have a secret weapon, an immigrant. You know when love who's unafraid to step in. He's constantly confused, found in the British henchman. Everyone give it up for America's favorite fighting Frenchman. Lafayette, taking his horse by the reins, making my
Tactile stimming involves repetitive behaviors related to the sense of touch and the skin. For example, I enjoy brushing my hair to stimulate my scalp. Similarly, you may stim by scratching, tapping, or massaging your scalp or any other body part. Another great way to partake in tactile stimming is to feel various fabrics. Here I am running my hands along my textured minky blanket, which has many little bumps. This is one of my favorite fabrics to stim with. Alternatively, you may enjoy running your fingers, palms, or even face along other textures. Here is a pair of my corduroy overalls that to me resemble a ripple chip and are fun to run my fingers along. Many stim toys appeal to the sense of touch. For example, here I have an Orby ball that is fun to squeeze, and as it retracts, the Orbeez inside make it for a fun tactile experience. Similarly, you may play with putty or slime, though I personally find the residue and characteristic sliminess to be unpleasant. Here is a tangle that, as indicated by the name, can be amusing to tangle up between your fingers. I have a long-standing habit of picking my lips and skin, which is a common tactile stim and can be negative for some. And finally, I collect stuffed octopuses, and they oftentimes have textured tentacles. I enjoy playing with these tentacles, running my fingers along them and wrapping my arms in them as a form of tactile stimming. Thank you for stimming with me today. I hope you had a lovely time. I'm curious to know how stimming makes you feel personally. Stimming is something that is very common within the autistic community and in autistic individuals, but everybody stims. Autistic individuals will oftentimes have a more intense or specific feeling or need to stim. So I'm curious, how does stimming make you feel? What kind of stimming do you like to partake in? I already showed you all my favorite stims, and to me, stimming can almost feel like the ASMR response, sort of tingling, except it's all over your body, and also like popping bubbles all inside of me. Okay, farewell lovely humans. See? My mom got me this shirt. It's really cute. Bye!